I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Since They Don't Play. I know normally you see Lem, but Lem, unfortunately, is not going to be here today for the interview. So, Lem, we love you, miss you, all that good stuff. So you already know. We got Nino in the building.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Missed last night, but I am here today, and I'm excited to be here today. So let's go ahead and get it.
Yes, definitely. We got Messy Mel in the building. Hi, guys. And we got no other than last year's champion, Rogan.
Hey, what up, Rogan?
All the way from London.
Nice. I like being called that.
I know. It's crazy that, you know, you were the champion of last season, but I feel like people still underestimate you a little bit.
To be honest, I'd forgotten that I won last season. When you just said it then, I was like, what? Who? Oh, yeah.
How did you forget?
That actually happened. That wasn't the dream. Look, that flag. That flag was what I raised at the top of the yacht and for the Queen.
Wow.
That's the, yeah. Shit,
yeah,
I won.
That's amazing. You did win.
Yeah.
So,
Mad.
I mean,
who would have thought it?
Right. Well, what was the game plan coming into this next season? How did you want to make this happen?
Well, last season, obviously, I was a bit of a bitch and I hid behind my numbers and I joined Kara's cult and all that jazz and I scared of elimination. So, you know, at the time I was playing, I wanted to win. I heard that you had to avoid elimination, get to the final and win the final. So in my head, I'm like, I'm the best. Watching it back, I'm like, I'm a bitch. So going into this season, I was just like, I have to prove that I'm not a bitch. So I was just like, I just want to go in and smash people and win challenges and prove that I'm not hiding behind anyone. I don't need, although I love having the better half of Jogan with me.
Right.
I don't necessarily need him. You know, when CT went, I don't necessarily need him. I can do things by myself, and I'm starting to try and prove that. Although hasn't gone down too well I did, but yeah. So the game plan was just to kind of to smash people about and not really give too much interest in the politics.
Okay.
That's an interesting question too, because as we go on, you know, people are asking like, oh, you were on the last AfterBuzz show, you know, what are you doing back here on this show? But we only got to see half of your reaction to what happened because it was only half the episode that we saw, and then the elimination was on the next episode. You obviously, you know, saw what happened, and you took your rugby skills into full effect, and our homeboy Jay, you know, battled it out, but it just didn't work out for him. After you saw that final episode, and obviously we see you and Jay becoming buddy now, you know, on each other's lives. You know, how did that make you feel to see, you know, obviously the win, and you got your red skull. Now you're into the final, but also like the relationship between you guys. It's pretty a funny dynamic that I see on social media between y'all.
I love him to bits, and I did before, and it wasn't like, it was just like a horrible situation that kind of spiraled out of control. Jay hates me saying this, but it was my idea. We were kind of pally going in. We'd had a beer together in LA. And then when he got there, I was like, oh, be a buddy. And I've got this stalker. Will you just hook up with us so then I can hook up with other people? He did it. And then it kind of spiraled into a horrible effect.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Called Dia Stalker.
Which, I mean, she was watching people while they slept. What do you want me to call that?
But you give her so much love, and then you go onto Twitter and talk so much shit about her. I mean, what is it really? Like, do you...
It's a love-hate relationship, because I'm nice about her, and then I hear her and see her write all this shit about me, and so I respond, because I'm a child.
All right, well, we'll get into that. I'm going to let you finish, but I just had to, you know, point that out real quick.
Okay, so... maybe I'll rephrase. These were the words that I used because I wanted her to hook up with someone so I could, but it just kind of made this horrible effect where everyone was like, oh, so you hate Jay then? And I was like, well, not really. And they were like, well, you could go into a physical elimination and get a red skull. And I was like, yeah, okay, I hate Jay then. And so I took my opportunity again, which like last time when I avoided eliminations, this time I took what I thought would be an easy one. And yeah, it proved to be, because I got my favorite elimination against probably his least favorite. So
right.
But then afterwards we kind of hugged, and we were like, well, he kind of didn't know where he was, but I was like, I've got you. We'll have beers afterwards, and you know, we're boys. And so yeah, it was a shit situation, and I've apologized many times to Jay, and I don't feel good smashing someone half my size. I did again play along on social media and poke some fun when Jay was poking fun. But it's all love between me and Jay. Well,
Yeah.
at least from my half it is. I don't know. He might secretly be planning revenge that I don't know about. But
I mean, you know, the fact that you did slam him down super hard. I mean, did you try to not like slam him that hard, or was it just the adrenaline? Because you know he is like, you are like half his, or is he half your size? Would it be that?
Well, he's pretty much the same height as me, but he is a lot lighter. But I didn't really know that until he was up in the air, and I was like, oh, light as a feather. But like I'm trained to do that since I was about 4 years old. I've played rugby to a very high standard. Like I nearly played for England. I had England trials, so I'm a pretty good rugby player. Like I'm spent 26 years of my life picking people up and slamming them onto the ground for a living or for fun, a few days a week. So when they've got an elimination, then they're like, you have to get him and the ball out of the ring. I'm like, okay, so I have to do what I've literally learned to do my entire life. And it just so happens that usually I do it to people much bigger. And but the thing is, if he had got back up, it was a nasty landing. It wasn't like a spear tackle. Like last time I played rugby, I got sent off after 10 minutes because I did that to someone, but put them on their head. But that's in rugby, that's fun and games. But in when the challenge fans are involved, maybe not. But so it was a nasty landing, and I thought he was going to get straight back up, and he did get up eventually, and he tried to carry on, and he's an absolute champion. I like for doing that, but it was rough tactics that was supposed to just scare him, but obviously he took a bad tumble, and regrettably he got hurt. But
he's a fighter though, so you gotta give him
absolutely, yeah, man. If he could have carried on, he would have, but the doctors wouldn't let him. He's an absolute warrior.
Definitely.
Well, let's switch gears here a little bit before we get into some D questions. From last night's episode, we saw you kind of in the middle of the Nani and Anissa situation back in the house. You know, this whole cup of noodles in your hand.
Literally a hand of noodles.
Went viral a little bit.
I don't even like noodles. I do not recall any of that. Me and Kyle was so drunk. We were just kind of like getting involved. I'm pretty sure at one point I tried to kiss Nani while she was mid-fight. That was pretty weird.
You tried to hook up with Nani while she
I kept getting tweeted this picture of her trying to swing a punch at Anissa, and while I'm holding her, I'm kind of trying to kiss her. I think I got the wrong impression. I don't know. I was very drunk.
Clearly.
Not a good time for anyone.
What did you think of that whole situation between Nani and Anissa, seeing it on screen? And obviously they made up in the episode, but you know, how did you think the house kind of helped pertain to all this crazy heat, even with Nelson going off? You know,
I think Nani got hammered drunk, and you know, maybe been a bit forward with someone that's got a girlfriend on the outside, and you know. So maybe that it rubbed a few people the wrong way. I think Anissa just kind of had a word with her as a friend, and Nani, being the feisty Latina that she is, just started kicking off. And I think Anissa held herself very well to not react.
Yeah.
Because Nani got pretty personal and pretty nasty. So I've all like respect to Anissa for doing for actually just saying, "I'm going to bed, you're an idiot," kind of thing, rather than going back. Because if Anissa was to go back, that would have been a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Hot noodles.
Well,
absolutely.
Rogan, I have a question. Hi.
Hello, Melody.
How are you, love?
Yeah, I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. No, let's switch gears a bit. Do you think there's anyone else who deserved to get the editing of the bad guy more than you? Because I know you spoke before about your grandfather passing and the headspace you were in because of that. And why do you think they're not showing it?
The thing is, no, it's not like it's the best show in the world. They only got a certain amount of time to cram things in, so they can't show everything that happens. So I think I was a bit out of order when I said that I may have got a bad edit, because it's they can't show something that didn't happen. Yes, right. I did slam him on the head. Yes, I did push my hand down on him. Yes, I did say get up so I can do it again. But in my granddad did pass away 2 days before. I was very, very emotional that week. I had a year of everyone on the show, Kyle, everyone, you're a bitch, you're scared of eliminations, you could never win an elimination. So all that in my head, and then horn goes, adrenaline goes, rah. So it's like, I was very, very emotional, and my emotions got the better of me, and that may be why I was, you know, did as rough as I was with Jay. But yeah, it's not like, in answer to your question, sorry, I kind of went off on one there, but yeah, I don't mind being the villain. Like, I'll play along. I don't think, like I said, like Paulie's not there. Johnny's just seems to be hilarious this time, and like people are just growing to love him. They're just like over him being the bad guy, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there was anyone else there that was really nasty. So I'm not saying they made me any worse than I was, because I am an absolute bastard. But
well, and
yeah, I don't think there was anyone worse.
I feel like there wasn't a lot of like relationships this season too, because I know like Kyle was the bad guy one season because of Cara, like, you know, so it's like there wasn't a lot of couples, and normally the couples get a lot of the heat. I know Zach right now, he's not even on the show, but he's getting tons of heat, and I know
he's getting more airtime than most of the cast.
I mean, the thing is, you know, you went to Twitter and was like, what is everyone's thoughts on Zach in the situation? So what is your thought on it, since you want to ask?
Did you see my tweet that followed that?
That he's getting more hate than you?
I said, yeah, I just wanted everyone to hate on someone else rather than me, so I had a break for 5 minutes. So I was like, how about that Zach guy?
Oh my gosh.
I just wanted like a 5-minute breather of everyone stop being mean to me. So I tried to call out Zach. But I didn't call him out. I just
deflected. You deflected.
My thoughts were he's got a screw loose. Is that an expression in America?
Yeah.
He's a nut job. So he's like hacked Jenna's Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. Like, if you're gonna hack anyone's stuff and go through years and years of messages, you're gonna find something you don't like. I don't care who you're dating. Like, if you're looking for something and you're hacking into stuff. Yeah, and apparently he did find something. Apparently Jenna's a little bit naughty. But yeah, which was kind of like, oh, I didn't know that. Thought she was an angel. So now I kind of see her in a different light. But
Rogan,
what?
You got to clean up your mess first. This whole mess you got going on. Let's talk about this mess, because I mean, a lot of, you know, you have been getting heat from the fans, and what do you think are some ways that you could do to change this? I mean, you have said a lot about Dee, and you have done her more dirty than like actually have showed that you actually ever cared about her, you know? So one of the questions from the fans, AAA Fista1 wants to know, why are you tweeting about how that you never liked Dee, but in the interviews you're saying that you loved her?
I've never said I loved her. I have literally never said that, ever. She told me she loved me after 2 weeks, and I said I wanted to set myself on fire.
But you always say that I have so much love for Dee, so I think that.
Oh yeah, so I was never in love with her. Like, it's a weird relationship. We were very close friends more than anything. People said me and Dee were boyfriend and girlfriend. We probably had sex twice in 9 weeks. I don't call that, like, we were close, like, as a friendship, as an alliance, until shit got nasty when most of my team, including me, decided that she probably wouldn't have run a final. She proved us all wrong, and she proved she's an amazing competitor. And that's why I went into this season saying, still got a lot of love for you. Like, we won a final. We've got that friendship connection, but that's it. And then she took that as, if you even speak to a girl, I'm going to threaten them and send them home. And if blah, 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 I'm going to try and hook up with Jay. And it just got real nasty real quick. And it's just like, whoa, like, so then the roller coaster of our relationship is now going back down there.
I think though, like, from what we see as viewers, like last season, it did seem like you had true feelings for her during that time. And then until that time where you switched up on her so quickly, I think people just saw that in such a bad light, because they saw your all's relationship. We saw how much Dee really did have feelings for you. So it wasn't just her being crazy. She really developed these feelings for you, and you really just kind of threw her in under the bus.
Surely when someone tries to throw you in, first he tells you that, you know, you just want to be friends, then they try and throw you in. You'd think like that she would get the message and maybe move on, but obviously not. Or maybe she just, I don't know. I can't speak for Dee, but all I can say is I just got out of like a 4-year relationship before season 34, so I went in trying to have fun. Ended up, so maybe a lot of my then being single and then having someone that cared for me so much was kind of nice. And maybe that makes me a horrible person because maybe I did use that a little bit and then tossed it away when I'd had it, like when I was ready to run a final. But
And I
so
think
yeah,
I think that's it. You know, I feel like that's why.
I can't even explain it. I don't even know. So yeah, I'm sorry. It's a very difficult and complex relationship, friendship, alliance, hatred that we have. I don't know.
And so to this day, though, you guys are, you know, back and forth with each other. Is it still that hate relationship where you're not really sure what's going on?
I try to just not tweet about her or to her. I've never just cut all social media beef and stuff, and just like, because I thought if I'm over it, I think the fans are over it. Like, so I just didn't want any kind of beef or anything, and I just wanted to move on to the next chapter. But it seems to be dragging on a little bit into this season. Hopefully in the future it'll just be like, you know, we'll be separate people, because I don't think either of us want to be linked with each other anymore. Because there's too much water under the bridge now. So I would like to just move away from the whole thing, but for some reason I can't see that happening. But I guess we'll find out.
Here's a good question then. Obviously the challenge fandom is pretty crazy. You've experienced it last season, this season currently as well too. And you know, back in, I think it was 2019 or 2019, you put out this, you know, documentary about, you know, your transformation of yourself within 12 months and the depression that you went through. How does social media play into this? And obviously with the challenge fandom being, you know, crazy and really devoted, like, how do you deal with all like the hate and the trolls? We talked to Dee about this too, you know, and
you have to have very thick skin. I mean, there's quite a few celebrity like reality stars in the UK that have killed themselves over trolling, and luckily I grew up with a very funny Irish family, and all we do is take the piss out of each other. So every time I speak, my brother makes fun that I've got a lisp. So I'm just kind of used to people making fun of me all the time. And so you just go up with it and you just laugh it off. You have to, because like I said, at one point I got like I did the documentary when I was down and I couldn't train. I had bad shoulder. Obviously you saw my back go, vendettas. I got really like, twice the size I am now. I didn't train at all. I was going to say I was an alcoholic, but I'm still partial to a tipple. So that hasn't really changed. But yeah, I was in just a downward spiral, and it took just one day, just a click to wake up and come back, and you know, and then got a phone call to do the challenge and somehow won, and everything's just been absolutely rosy since then. So the challenge has changed my life. So thank you to everyone involved for bringing me back from the dead.
Yeah, because I know trolls can be crazy, but I mean,
yeah, but I kind of sometimes not sometimes, all the time, I write back to them, which only encourages them. Like I try to have a laugh a bit, and then it's just fuel to the fire, because that's all they want.
Fire. They want
that's all they want. If they were to say like, "Oh, Rogan's cool" or whatever, I would like it, but they wouldn't get like a mess, or maybe they do get a message sometimes, but not a big reaction. You know, trolls live for the hate. Like they want me to call them a C word, and so then they can continue. You know,
right.
Sometimes they get a little nibble, but not very often these days. I try and behave.
That's good, man.
Very partial to the block button at the moment, actually. So,
how did you get involved with the challenge, though? Had they seen something on X on the Beach, or how were you on their radar? I love you on X on the Beach, by the way.
Oh, I was going to say, I hope you haven't watched it. I'm not really like that, Melody, I promise.
Right.
So yeah, Nino and Nicolette, when I did X on the Beach, I don't know if you watched it in the UK, I was like 20, I was like 5 or 6 years ago now.
Okay.
And I was a little shit. And
I saw the highlights, bro.
I was a dirty dog. I think there was like 8 girls in the house, and I hooked up with 7 of them, something like that.
What?
Yeah, it was. I know. I've grown up a lot now. I would never do something like that now.
Right.
Right. But I think someone saw that and called up my agent, and my agent was like, "Yeah, would you want to do the show?" And I was like, "Hell yeah." Had never seen the challenge because it wasn't shown.
Oh,
in the
you
UK.
didn't?
Yeah,
well, because there was UK. Like Kyle was on it before, and like Georgia.
No, that was my first season. Vendettas with Kyle. Yeah, so we turned up. Me and Kyle didn't have a clue. Season 31. Yeah.
Oh, Kyle's and that's right, because you went home the first.
Yeah, because
night.
I'm like 95 kilo now, and people think I'm a big dude.
No,
now.
I remember that. You're right, but you were the first one to go, right?
Yeah, I was 107 kilo trying to run up that mountain of pure muscle. I was like, there was no chance. There was no chance. So yeah, imagine that if that guy had the 107 kilo version of myself had gone against Jay, then it wouldn't have been an ambulance. It would have been, it would have been a lot worse.
Oh man. Well, I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So we have another fan question. Other than Joss or CT, who would be your dream partner?
Oh, well, this is a silly answer, but it's just because I love him. Bear.
Really?
I love him. He's so funny.
You and Melody love him.
I'm not saying we would win. Like, we would lose straight away because he would just get us kicked off. He would turn around with a fire extinguisher or try and ruin, or just politically ruin everything. But I just love him. Like, that bunker was hell. Like, living in that bunker was hell. And so to cheer myself up, I just follow around Bear, watching him upset everyone, and it would just make me laugh.
Yeah.
So, he entertains me very much so.
Melody is a big Bear fan as well.
I love Bear.
Yes. He's the best. He's so funny.
I mean, so you clearly supported what he did this season.
What do you do?
No, that's the thing. I thought you were going to say about the fire extinguisher. No, I told him not to do that like 100 times. Mikey messaged me before the show and said, "Can you look out for Kayla?"
Oh,
and I was like, "Hell yeah, of course."
How did you know Mikey?
I didn't, but Joss did. Joss knew him from like going out in Vegas and stuff. So Mikey messaged me and was like, "Hey, my girl's doing the show. Can you look out for her?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro, I got you." So when Bear's like, Bear didn't know Kayla's name for like 2 weeks. He just called her Blue Top because on the first night she was wearing a blue top. So he was like, "I'm in love with Blue Top." And I was like, "Please leave Blue." Even when she wasn't wearing a blue top, she was Blue Top. And then, for 2 weeks solid, or maybe longer, he just talked about her all day, every day. He just loves a challenge. And he just wouldn't, like, persistence beats resistance, apparently.
So you were trying to, like, de-escalate the situation.
100% for a long time. But then when it happened, I was just like me and the Holy Trinity, we all just looked at each other and we were just like, what can you do?
And the Holy Trinity, I can't.
You know what I mean? Whatever.
We had a question in the live chat from Kaya. She asked if you had lied about Kayla moving to the UK, because obviously she responded and said everything that you said was not true at all.
Oh, I didn't know there was a response. I just repeat. I don't know if it's, it is true because I've seen pictures and they got paparazzi and they were in the papers. So Kayla did 100% move to Bears for a couple. Well, not move. Went to live with Bear for like 2 weeks after filming, and
like a visit.
And then Bear's words were, "Yeah, I got bored and sent her home." But I don't know, like, if that's true or whether she got bored or they had a row. I'm just saying Bear's words because I don't care.
Yeah. We have another fan question. It's kind of like another question, like the dream partner. Who wouldn't you want to face in elimination? Like, what's the one person you would not want to face ever in an elimination?
Well, Joss, obviously.
Okay.
I think because like it'd be like, you ever seen when Shawn Michaels Sweet Chin Music's Ric Flair? You guys all right, so basically there's two wrestlers and they love each other. There's two, like, a lot of people will know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So there's two wrestlers and they love each other, right? And Shawn Michaels loves Ric Flair. They have so much, he loves him, but he has to win. So when he does this famous finisher called Sweet Chin Music, bang, and kicks him in the face. But while Ric Flair's turning around, Shawn's like crying, and he's like, "I can't do it. I'm sorry. I love you." Boom! And I just feel like it would be like that. We'd be like crying whilst punching each other. It'd be amazing.
I believe it.
No, why am I saying it'd be amazing? I'm encouraging people.
I
cannot. I don't want that to happen.
Right. I mean, that was
We'd literally be rolling around on the floor just like.
I believe it.
What? We'd just start making out in the middle of it and freak everyone out.
Since you mentioned the Holy Trinity, were they one of the groups that you were working with this season?
The thing is, with me, like, I'm very fond of CT, as people might know. Like, kind of look up to him, as I call him Pops and all sorts, from us winning. And, then we ended up, like, partying together for a bit, and I've met his family. And so we're quite close. So I kind of just learned from, and like, in my opinion, learned from the best. And he was just like, don't do the alliance thing again. He was like, that was cool last season, but he was like, fuck that. He was like, sit on the fence and wait for people, like smash people, win challenges and wait for people to come to you. So that's just what I did this time. I was chilling, and I thought I'd CT. And so we were just going to do that.
That's actually really good advice. I feel like CT is the champ of doing that. He always you know, everyone respects him, but he also just kind of stays under the radar, but he is still kind of on the radar, but no one really wants to fuck with him.
Yeah, no one wants to fuck with him. So that was another thing. As bad as I felt about Jay, I thought, well, no one's going to want to come down here after that. So I thought if I prove a point, you know, then I've got my red skull. Maybe people will leave me alone. I can chill and have a few beers into the final perhaps, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so I was just chilling, and then so I was cool with Corey and Nelson. Like Bananas and Kyle were like, everyone kind of came up in their factions at some point and was like, we good? And I was like, we good. So I just kind of, you know, chilled, and then, you know, did my thing, and then we'll see what happens in terms of that. But yeah,
I'm excited to see like how everything else goes down, because obviously at this point a lot of people are going a little crazy in the bunker. You know, obviously we saw with the Nani breakdown and then the Nelson breakdown and all that other stuff. How were you feeling at this point?
People are having, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but people are having therapy after the bunker. Like we were.
I mean, I believe it.
I do too.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it, but I was a bit nuts anyway, so I'm just kind of writing it out. But yeah, people are literally seeing therapists, and I'm not surprised. It was fucking horrible. So yeah, it was it's tough living.
There you go.
Are there any other UK personalities that haven't been on the challenge yet that you are kind of hopeful for?
No.
All right.
Melody, who did you have in mind?
I mean,
I would like to see Ovi on the challenge.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I know who that is. The guy, the real big guy from Love Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really seen that because I was filming while that was on.
Okay.
But I've seen his. Yeah, he's supposed to be really funny and stuff. So yeah, he would be good. He looks like is he a basketball player as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melody's our local UK expert. She knows. She
oh really? Yeah, because I think you've already got the best ones, you know. So
really,
the others at home will stay. You know, don't replace me.
Right. Well, I think that's it with the fan questions. I wanted to say I had a few more.
Any other tea you want to spill, Rogan? Yeah. What are we not seeing? What are we not hearing?
There's a. Well, I can't say what happens. I want to tell you, like, I'll have to come back on again in a few weeks.
Well, then you better come back on this one right here and let us know.
Yeah, 100%. I'd love to.
Yeah, because we definitely want to get a good episode with you, so we can have a lot more to talk about. But this was
so fun. You know I'm the villain now.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a change.
Just wait. It's so
bad. For the record, I feel like I'm the
only
person who doesn't dislike you. You're one of my faves, so
you're one.
Me and her be fighting about
right now?
We are a little bit.
Oh, see, I can't. Melody, I need you to run. Okay, see, I'm the voice of reason in this whole situation.
Yeah, no, I'm bad news, Melody. You want to stay away from me?
Me too. I'm bad news too, though.
Oh
Rogan,
my God.
Rogan, the DM is Melody_Rose on Instagram.
Oh, mate, I've already noted it down. I've already written it down. Don't worry about that.
There you go.
Well, honey, you're going to have to deal with me speaking the reason.
If you like a bad boy, Jesus, I don't... can't say anything.
See how it works out for women who like bad boys? Rogan is not the one. Okay? I'm sorry, Rogan. I am team.
I'm not the one. I'm not the one for anyone.
Not the
Trust
one.
me.
Right.
Melody, I'll try and send you home.
Okay.
I will. I'll tell you I really like you, and then I'll gather up all my friends and say, she can't run a final, and I'll boot you off.
Yeah, see?
But we'll have a big time first.
Bad news.
Okay.
Well, there you have it, you guys.
I'm only joking, Melody. I'm a lovely guy.
I feel like we should leave Sensei.
Yeah, I feel like we just
blossom.
Just go. I love it. I love this hoodie, by the way. This hoodie.
Pardon?
Your hoodie?
Oh yeah.
I thought you said titties.
No, I'm like your hoodie.
Yes.
I
would plug them, but they sold out. They sold out in like 24 hours.
Wow.
And like over half the orders were Americans.
That's awesome, man.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so the challenge Japans are flipping great.
Wow.
They are.
You should give
Putting my
away
kids
this
through
one.
college right now.
You should
Say
give
again?
a challenge
give-
man your hoodie.
Oh
sign it.
yes.
Signed it.
Yeah,
Make a competition out of it.
I did a giveaway
Oh, you
to the
did?
NHS, like the health workers.
Oh,
But I could do a
nice.
challenge one. I could
Yes,
definitely
that
do a
could be
challenge one. That's a
fun.
good idea.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. I will.
All right. Well, we
will.
hope
Thanks
to
for
have
coming
you
on.
on again soon. We'll see how the rest of the season plays out for you,
Mhm.
and we'll have to have you back when we have more to chat about.
I'm sorry in advance, guys.
Oh,
Rogan.
no.
Or you
Well,
might like it.
well,
It
I'm
depends.
sorry in advance,
Melody's
too.
gonna love it.
But see, I'm sorry in advance too because I'm probably gonna have a whole lot to talk about.
Ugh.
Oh, you will. Oh, you will.
Yeah, I'll have
Aw.
my comments. I'll have my comments.
Just be
Okay.
here watching.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, Rogan. Well, where can everyone follow you?
At Rogue Snaps is my Instagram. And then if you do want any bear wear, we do have loads of stuff in stock. That's at bear_wear. It's nice, isn't it?
Perfect. Yeah, it is.
So
nice.
yeah, thank you very much.
All right. And Nino, where can everyone follow you?
Hey guys, you can find me at Nina Lanero on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, y'all.
And Messy Mel, where can
You
everyone
guys
follow you?
can check me out everywhere at Melody_Rose.
That's right. Write it
Yeah,
down, Rogan.
write it
Write
down,
it down,
Rogan.
Rogan.
And you guys can follow me at Sensei Don't Play. Until next week, we have Casey coming on next Wednesday, so you guys stay tuned for that. And we
Love
will
Casey.
see you guys next week. Peace.
Let's go.
Bye.
Hey, bye guys.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.